What's up, metalheads? My name's Jamie. This is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. Today I'm going to be doing my overview of the WE Knife Vision R. This is a Snex design with the Snex lock, which is very similar to a Shark lock. Or in the Cold Steel, they call theirs the Atlas lock. It's a coil spring lock. The springs on this one's down here at the back of the knife, compared to like the AD 20.5, it's more up here at the front. And honestly, this knife is, if you saw my versus that I did between this knife, the AD 20.5, and the Cold Steel Engage, I didn't talk very good about this one. And I've spent more time with it, and it's growing on me, okay? One of the issues I had with it was you can actually pull the lock out like that, right? Which I was told that's to make it easier to clean, but I don't know how that's going to make it easier to clean, you know. I don't see what that's going to, you know, how that's going to make it any easier to clean the knife. So, but, you know, as I've gotten used to doing this, you know, when first started playing with it, I did it a couple times, but I just realized I'm just pulling too hard. I don't need to pull that hard, and it's fine. It's really not a big deal. I do think they should do something to correct that, though. I don't think the lock should pop out like that. There's nothing that pulling that out is going to do for me to assist me in cleaning this knife that I couldn't do with it already, with it remaining in place, right? I can get in there and clean everything I want to, like this, or just disassemble the knife and clean it. And by having this out like that, it doesn't give me any access to anything else other than, you know, this piece, you know, which I don't think is really a big deal. It needs to be cleaned. So, but that's not really a big issue at this point. My other big complaint with this knife was the pocket clip. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. But first, let's go over the specs of this knife real fast and do a couple size comparisons. All right, the overall length 7.95 inches. The blade length 3.54 inches. Blade thickness is 120 thousandths. 20 CV blade steel, titanium scales, full flat grind. Well, almost full flat grind. Full flat out here at the tip, but it kind of comes almost full flat grind. I'm going to call it a full flat grind. Pocket clip is not reversible, but doesn't need to be. It's truly ambidextrous, if you know what I'm saying. The weight is 3.63 ounces, and yeah, for its size, it's actually fairly lightweight. I'm sure putting these holes in here assisted with that, which is something else I don't like. It's just a personal preference for me. I'm not a big fan of speed holes. All right, let's do a couple size comparisons. Obviously, the Demko AD 20.5, in case you didn't see that video. This is the clip point variant. It's a little bit longer than that. What else we got here? Let's do a bug out. A little bit longer than a bug out. Thickness wise, very similar to a bug out. It's a thin knife. Do a Spyderco Schmuck. Almost identical in length to the Schmuck. Almost identical. Do the Penguin. And we will do a pair 3. And that should give you guys a good idea on the size of the knife. It's a long knife, but it's thin, it's lightweight, so it's a bigger knife, but doesn't feel big in hand or in pocket. And here's some, you know, you guys know I love a forward finger choil, right? Most all my knives I buy, I have a forward finger choil. I just love that grip. That's where I feel like I have the most control over the knife. It feels the most comfortable. You know, I just love having that forward finger choil, but not with this knife. It comes down to this pocket clip. Now, back here in the normal grip, the way my palm curves right here, that pocket clip doesn't get me too bad. I can feel it, but it's not bad, right? But when I choke up to this forward finger choil, that tip of that clip just digs right into my palm. Digs right into my palm. It's unusable for me in this grip. I cannot hold the knife like this and for any extended period of time. It's just going to tear my hand all up. And that's sad, you know. I would love to see a redesign of this knife. Who am I, though, right? But I would love to see this knife redesigned. Obviously, if you're going to put the clip to where it can go on the outside right here, you're going to have to get rid of these speed holes, or at least this one speed hole. I would love to see them redesign this to where this clip can go left or right on the sides, you know. Even if you do it in a way to where it mounts under the scale so it still looks nice and you just have to, you know, flip it over from one side to the other. And this knife would be a home run in my opinion. But with that clip being like that, man, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, honestly. Not if you intend to use it, right? Now, if you're just buying it to play with it and fidget with it, sure, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's not bad for that. But if you intend to use this knife, this is going to become an issue for you really quickly. So everything else about the knife I love. I really do. The speed holds, personal preference. I think they can redesign this to where it doesn't come out because there's actually space in there where you can see that, like when you look through that hole right there, this hole right here, watch this. See how it's not quite hooking all the way in there over the blade? You get that little space in between the blade and the lock. It looks like this thing could come forward a little bit more to lock that in better, and by it being a little bit longer, it would stay under this pin, and I think that would, you know, keep it from coming out. So just a suggestion from me. I like the knife, but I will link it below. These run $269, by the way. So honestly, for what you're getting, that's not terribly bad for 20 CV and something so innovative. And damn, it's a good looking knife. God, it looks so good. That's why this one's kind of disappointing for me, right? That pocket clip, could do something about that. I would be all about this knife. But as it is, no, not for me, and I wouldn't recommend it for anyone that's buying it to actually use it, because it's not going to be something that you want to use for any extended period of time, or it's going to hurt your palm. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you guys on the next one.